I'm here in West Virginia, a place where no EV driver should go because this whole state is one big charging desert. Just kidding. This is the new West Virginia that's EV friendly.
For your chance to drive off in a brand new electric vehicle and support a nonprofit? Well, one of the best nonprofits fighting for clean energy is running their 7th annual EV raffle for the planet, and it's their biggest yet. Here are 3 reasons why you should buy a ticket today to support our friends at the CCAN Action Fund. Number 1, amazing odds. For the first time, each ticket gives you 3 chances to win an electric car. Even better, only 10,000 tickets will be sold. Those are great odds. Reason number 2, the prizes are stunning. The grand prize winner gets to pick from 6 luxury EVs. The rugged R1S, the powerful R1T, the brand new Lucid Gravity, the sleek Lucid Air, the bold Porsche Macan EV, or the iconic Porsche Taycan. Yeah, and those are all great cars, and again, you get to pick which one. The second place winner gets to choose from a Volkswagen ID Buzz or a Hyundai Ioniq 5. And there's a third place winner, a Chevy Equinox EV. Even better, the group will cover state and federal taxes. Oh, but what about tariffs? Well, no problem, they cover those too. Reason number 3, the CCAN Action Fund supports clean energy nationwide. So you could win a great EV and support a greener world. It really is kind of a win-win. To enter, check out www.evraffle.org. That's evraffle.org, or simply click the link in the description below. Tickets are only $200. Enter to win today.
This is Twin Falls State Resort Park. Used to be that West Virginia state parks were charging deserts. Not anymore. We've got 4 Blink, I think they're 19.2 charging stations. We're about to find out, and it's 25 cents per kilowatt hour. You can see we're right next to the lodge, which is very convenient. Me and my son are gonna go get ourselves some dinner and then spend the night in the lodge while our electric car charges. All right, it's the next morning. I'm gonna go out and check the car. There's one thing to keep in mind if you come to one of these West Virginia state resorts, and I checked a good number of them. I checked, let's see, Stonewall, Blackwater Falls, Chief Logan, and they all have EV chargers. So obviously someone in the West Virginia government made a decision that their state resort parks all need to have electric vehicle charging. And the one here at Twin Falls is a brand new 4-stall Blink setup. But one thing to keep in mind, that when you post up to connect to a charging station at a resort in West Virginia, and probably not just the state parks, any resort, that you don't want to set your state of charge, your target state of charge, to 100%. A lot of EVs will have damage to the battery if you're regenning downhill with a 100% loaded battery. Not all of them, but a good number of them. I know with General Motors cars that's the case. They specifically warn you, don't go down a mountain when your battery's at 100%. So I set mine to 90%, charged all night. Let me show you. Right here. 3 additional chargers, all newly installed, it looks like. And let's take a look where we're at. All right, well, that was perfect. Got to 90% and all ready to get ready and go on with the day. My son and I, today's the 4th of July, we're gonna go check out the park and look at the twin waterfalls that the park is named for, and then take a ride back home and check out some more electric vehicle charging stations, because not only has West Virginia populated level 2 charging at their state resort parks, they've also put them into their toll road service plazas. So we're gonna check those out as well on the way home.
That's the little black seam under the rock. It's about, the highest would be about 40 to 42 inches.
It's called the Beckley Service Plaza. We are very close to exit 44 off the West Virginia toll road. And brand new facility, as you can see, newly constructed, tons of amenities inside this place. And also, I noticed last year there was an installation of an EV charging station here using Lincoln Electric hardware. And I think it might be NEVI funded. I'm not 100% sure on that, but brand new installation of an electric vehicle charging station. And it's not just 1 or 2 charge point chargers. They put in a whole bank of these things. Let's go inside and take a look at this facility, because this is really very impressive stop. You kind of think of West Virginia as kind of like a quiet, less metropolitan type of area of the country, but this is beautiful. Now this place is just swarmed. This is like a Buc-ee's as far as the amount of traffic. It is a holiday weekend, but even still, I couldn't do an audio recording in there walking through, so I'm going to do that out here and cut in scenes as I do so. It is a kind of like a standard convenience store at the front, and then you have what looks to be like a food court in a mall with Starbucks, Wendy's, and Popeyes, as well as table seating area and kiosks in order to place your orders on. And, you know, nice mix between Starbucks, Wendy's, and Popeyes. So basically any time of the day, they got you covered. And also what I like is they have in the back area a artisan craft store. So local artists have a place to sell their wares to people traveling through the state down the toll road, and able to support the local artistic community with a little shop in order for them to have their products offered. All pretty cool. Now let's get over to what we're here for, which is the bank of electric vehicle chargers. Since they put this thing in last year, I've been very curious about coming, and you know, it's a holiday weekend, I had extra time, so I'm like, why not? But this is far more impressive in person. These cables take a weightlifter in order to pick up. I'm gonna look for the cladding on these cables before I get to the next one, and I'll mention that there is an Amphenol handle, but the cables are freaking heavy. All right, so we got NACS and CCS, 39 cents per kilowatt hour, with multiple different ways to play a pay terminal. It's weird, the CCS handle is actually feels less heavy than the NACS, but boy, this thing is built to last. Zombie apocalypse or no, these things are built to last. I wonder if it says how much speed. It doesn't say the speed available. Let's look at the charger itself. Okay. Coming around to the charger. Lincoln Electric. Where is the sticker? I wonder if it's on the inside there, and we don't actually get to see the specific manufacturer sticker. Ah, here we go. Looking. Input 480, 3-phase. Output 201,000 volt, 300 amps, so 150 kilowatt max. Now I'm assuming that's to both handles, so it'd have to be split 75 each if both are in use. That seems reasonable. But this is a full service plaza. In my personal opinion, that's sufficient. You know, because you don't want to be one and done in 20 minutes. That's not really what this is. Well, I suppose, you know, you want to be through faster, but even still, I don't know. We have to consider that we are in West Virginia. And there's something called DC America. If you need help, there's a phone number down there. I've never heard of DC America. I'm gonna have to look them up, because apparently they're the ones who are running these. DC America is down here as well. It's a new CPO for me. Let's go ahead and go down the line. That was cabinet number 8. So that cabinet here is paired to this pair of dispensers. Now I'm assuming, because the way the stalls are painted, maybe not. Maybe only one of these can be in use at any time and it's not able to split because of the way the stalls are used. Because if you look over here, well, that's cool, it shows the state of charge as this ID4 is charging. This one is paired to here, and I don't think there's enough spaces. There would be 16 spaces. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 8 spaces. So basically, each one of these dispensers is one space, and you have your choice of either J3400X or CCS. Interesting. Okay, so 8 cabinets. Each cabinet is pure to 1 dispenser, and each dispenser offers 1 stall. So it's not 16, it is 8. Very interesting. And service plaza run by the state of West Virginia. So we got plenty of garbage cans that are serviced and a lot of amenities. Let's take a look at the transformer. 1500 kVA for 8 150s. That sounds sufficient to me. All in all, I think this is going to be in service for many years to come. I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, so far I'm impressed. Okay, concerning these very heavy cables, you can see it says RimaFlex. This is on the CCS cable. On the next cable, there is nothing on the cladding of the cable, so I can't really tell. I'm assuming it's the same. It seems a little bit heavier on the next cable, and I don't know why. Maybe the pinouts are slightly different or something, but man, is that a heavy cable. It's a good thing that it's not too long. It's relatively short cable, but no cable management, just kind of protrudes out there and very heavy. But at least, I guess, built to last. And I will see if I can't track down the specifics of those cables, but kind of interesting selection. So as impressive as this travel plaza is, newly built with both petroleum and EV refueling options, and a full food court and convenience store, clean restrooms, plenty of parking, trash cans, pet amenities, all the fixings here in West Virginia. Modern build, which really seems out of place. It's not the only one. This is the Beckley Travel Plaza. A little bit further up the road is the Bluestone Travel Plaza. So let's go over there and check that one out to see if that's at the same high caliber of installation as, because this one is pretty high up there. This is very impressive. Let's go see what that one's like. This is the Bluestone Travel Plaza, and it has everything you expect from a travel plaza, with window squeegees, canopy for the gas pumps, and a attached facility. What is notable about this is it's brand spanking new, beautifully modern designed, and I'll get to what's on the inside here in just a second, but very similar to the last location, there is an EV charging station with the Lincoln Electric chargers, except a few more stalls. That had 8 stalls, and this has, let's see, it looks like only 4 instead of 8, so half as many. Also not as many food options on the inside, but still very impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at this site. Okay, so inside the Travel Plaza, as I mentioned, very similar to the last Travel Plaza. There is a Wendy's, but that's the only option for fast food. There's also a convenience store, a triple high ceiling, which is very luxurious. Plenty of seating. There is also the craft store for local artisans, and very clean, well-maintained restrooms. So all the things that you would expect from a very modern travel center, which again, in my opinion, feels a little bit out of place for West Virginia, but here we are, and West Virginia is making a play for those travel dollars, and not only providing a very up-and-coming travel center, but EV charging, which has been a little bit uncharacteristic for what West Virginia is known as a EV charging desert. So they're filling in their own deserts. And I also think it's noteworthy that West Virginia putting these Travel Plaza EV charging stations in place are also kind of signaling to the local population as a form of leadership, also on their state resort properties having EV charging, that, hey, if you want to attract customers to your businesses, you can put in EV charging and you'll get more people coming to your local businesses. So it might have a cascading effect as time goes on. These have just been put in late last year, so it's obviously going to take a while for that to pan out. But still, beautiful Travel Plaza, freshly built with a modern design, very clean facilities, and everything you could possibly want. Let's go ahead and get plugged in, because I actually do need some electrons in order to make it all the way home. All right, that last station was a bit of sensory overload, but now that I've had a bit of time to process on the drive over, I think I've got a little bit better handle. If you look, there's a station name, which is up here as well, and on the screen. And this station has something similar. So it looks like they're doing something similar to what EVgo does, where they name the stations, and then if you need to call the helpline, tell them the station name. And this is Cheat at Bluestone Plaza, and then they could dial into it and help you. And I've been going through, it doesn't appear as though there's an app to pay. So you choose here, and your options to pay are right down here. So I don't see any app option, which is kind of nice. And I think I'm just going to use tap to pay in just a second. Concerning these cables, I was going to look them up, but it says right here 300 amps. So I'm thinking at a 400 volt car, my best bet is going to be 120 kilowatts. We'll see what we actually get. This also does not have any cladding here at Bluestone, as was the case over at the other station. So quickly walking around what the station looks like. Obviously we've got the signage for the EV charging and the 4 stalls fed from 4 Lincoln Electric dispensers and 4 Lincoln Electric chargers. Something else that I've noticed is that there are cameras up here, and each station has a light, which is nice because oftentimes at night you need a little extra light in order to make it more convenient for the charger. We've got switchgear, 1200 amps, 480, 277, 3-phase. And yeah, I think I'm ready to go ahead and start charging. I wonder if this cable is even going to reach. Let me check. Otherwise, I might need to pause the recording and pull up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to pull up a little bit. Let me pause that and get the charging started, and we'll take a look. Okay, let's do a charging session. I'm going to do tap to pay. Choose CCS. It says, please plug in. Okay. I'm going to use this enormous cable, 300 amp cable, connected. Tap to pay. That worked, I think. Okay, yeah, we're spinning. We got a $45 hold getting put on there. Joy. It's going to lift. I don't need that much juice in order to get home. My current state of charge estimate is arriving home at 0%, so I'm just going to put like 10% in there. And I was right. So as CCS is in use, the NACS is out of order. So that is, in fact, how these stations work. Each dispenser serves 1 stall, and you have to choose either or. You can't use both at the same time. Validating the health of the charger. While we do that, let's just quickly walk around one more time. So 4 stalls, and if you look, we're just right adjacent to the Travel Plaza. And it looks like it's kind of far from the Travel Plaza, but actually there's doors right there because there's truck parking, and the truckers walk in through a door right over here. There's a nice little overhang picnic area. Very nice. There's pet amenities, garbage cans, squeegees for the windshield, immediately on and off the interstate. They even are selling vehicle accessories like windshield washer fluid if you need that. Okay, we are officially charging. Now I'm guessing I'm not going to get very much speed. Oh my God, I'm getting 104 kilowatts. That's pretty impressive, considering I'm at 66% state of charge. So it doesn't show the amps and volts, but we're getting over 100 kilowatts at 66. That's pretty damn good. But it does show that the charging cost is 39 cents per kilowatt hour, which is pretty good, and an estimated completion at 419. And it has a nice big display for the state of charge. I like that because as you walk away, you're able to see by looking across. Like if we're sitting over there in Wendy's and we want to see how much we have and we don't want to look at the app, we just glance over and you can see the big screen showing how much you've completed. So we've already delivered 2 kilowatt hours, and we're still over 100 kilowatts at 68% state of charge. Energy dispense is 57 cents at 39 cents per kilowatt hour. So all good. I think what I'm going to do is just let this charge for a little bit, enough to get home. And again, we charged up at the resort last night to full. It was just because we drove around a little bit today that we weren't able to make it all the way home on that charge. So I only need a couple percent in order to hit the road again. And I think what I'm going to do is once I get home, kind of do a summary of this trip, collect my thoughts, because it's really a lot to process, much different than what you perceive West Virginia EV charging trips to be. These were just put in late last year, and now we've got the state resorts putting in level 2 charging, and definitely them doing a push to attract EV chargers for tourism dollars. Okay, I'm back home and I've had a chance to take a shower, do a little bit of editing, kind of process what I went through, because that was very much sensory overload. Considering last time I was in that vicinity, I went to Prestonburg, Kentucky to something called Jenny Wiley State Park and had to use level 1 charging for a certain extent. And I've crossed the state of West Virginia before, and when I did so, I needed level 2 charging to get across the state because there was not enough DC fast charging. And if you don't have a Tesla and you try to cross West Virginia, let's see, 18 months ago, there's no way of doing it without level 2. And now, holy smokes, they went from 0 to 100 in a very short amount of time. Those travel plazas are absolutely spectacular, and they plopped in heavy-duty EV charging. So the Bluestone travel plaza is only northbound, so it's not on both sides. If you want to stop at that, you basically have to loop around and then pull in and then loop back around to go in your direction if you're coming south. If you're going north, it's right there on your side. And so that's why I think it's only half as full. But the other one, and the name escapes me, is able to be accessed from both sides because there's access roads going into it, and so that's why it's double size. But boy, are those facilities absolutely spectacular. They're better than anything I've ever seen in Europe. You know, the triple high ceiling, the full service amenities, the very clean restrooms. The restrooms were getting service while I was there. It's one of those things where, like on an interstate rest stop, where they split them and they clean half while the other half is in use, and then they switch and then they clean the other. So they're continually being taken care of. And so clean restroom facilities, full service food options, both sit down and quick service. The convenience of having the gas station with the squeegees and the windshield washer fluid if you need it, all those things right there. Very safe, 24/7, 365, immediately off the interstate with 150 kilowatt charging from Lincoln Electric at both locations with tap to pay, no app necessary in order to activate the charging session at 39 cents per kilowatt hour, at least for the ones that are in the travel plaza. And then the chargers that are actually into the State Park Lodge lots, also newly installed. The ones that I was using were newly installed Blink chargers, and they definitely weren't 19.2 kilowatt. They were, I think I was getting like 6 kilowatts. They weren't very fast. It took all night in order to get up to 90%, but still, I mean, if you're spending a night at a lodge, you don't really need much more than that, and it worked fine. I left with 90% the next morning. Very nice lodge, restaurants, clean rooms, very large rooms also. They're bigger than normally what you would see in a hotel. And so my son had a very nice 4th of July travel into West Virginia. And one of the nice things about West Virginia is it's cooler in the summertime. Down here in the Piedmont of North Carolina, it gets pretty brutally hot, and more so in what's known as the upstate of South Carolina. So if you want to escape the weather, you go up into the mountains, and you can go to Asheville, and now you can go to West Virginia because they have EV charging. So kind of opens up new opportunities. I was actually talking to my son on the way back home that the fact that those EV chargers are there, they're very reliable right off the interstate, and they also have them built into all the state parks, is really opening a lot of new opportunities for me, because I like to do EV car camping. And the Hurricane Helene damage has really devastated the portions of Western North Carolina that I used to frequent. And so now I could escape into West Virginia and do EV car camping while that part of the state gets rebuilt. And it's going to be a couple of years. People don't realize how bad it was. It's not part of the 24-hour news cycle, but it's going to take a couple of years for that part of the country to recoup. So anyway, tremendously impressed. Those facilities at the travel centers and also at the state park lodges are a clear indication that the state of West Virginia is pushing attracting EV drivers to their state. And very likely this is just the start, and from here it'll continue to cascade throughout the state, which is a tremendously encouraging thing to see. Anyway, thanks very much for watching.